Hello friends, Adam here with FED. Today we're going to be talking about Project Ember, a really fun Fire Emblem Binding Blade hack, but I couldn't do it alone, so today I'm joined by our special guest this week, Booty Bopper. Go ahead and introduce yourself, friend.
Well, first I'm going to say it's pretty crazy hearing the intro live. That's pretty crazy, but yeah, my name's Booty Bopper. Call me Booty, call me Bopper, whatever you want. I make videos on YouTube primarily about Fire Emblem. I do some other stuff as well. If you're primarily familiar with me from the Fire Emblem stuff, check out the Pokemon video. I'm proud about that one, so I'm gonna plug that here. But otherwise, I mostly do Fire Emblem streams and like scripted style content. If you've seen any of my stuff, it's probably that. But otherwise, I just try to have fun. Try fun making videos. Videos are fun. YouTube is fun. It can be fun.
Yeah, so, it can be fun.
It can be fun. It's not always fun, but because sometimes you like end up sticking your foot in your mouth in a video, but you know, that's what I'm here for. So
yeah, man, you can't make everybody happy. Yeah.
No, you can't.
Well, thanks for coming on. Yeah, Booty Bopper. I feel like you just blew up on the scene, like just in the past month or two. Really, just you know, I don't know. When did you hit? When did you hit 1,000 subs? It's pretty recent, right?
It was pretty recent. It was about in October, middle October, because I had uploaded videos. I've been uploading them for about 4 months, and was getting like 50 subscribers. I had like the videos of mine that blew up, which were the two Fire Emblem videos, the one about like Jagans and the one about the hard mode difficulties. Those are sitting at about 200 views, and then just randomly one day shot up to like tens of thousands somehow randomly. I don't know. The algorithm works in mysterious ways. I apologize to everybody who it got recommended to, but you've seen them now, and that happened in like mid-October, and then it's sort of been pretty steady from there. So it's been kind of crazy for me because I never, you know, I just started making it, you know, these videos just with friends and with that expectation. So just kind of coming out of nowhere a little bit has been exciting and pretty random for me.
Yeah, man, it's honestly really cool to see it happen. I don't know. I made videos for like, I don't know, just like as a hobby, you know, for like 2 years, and then eventually, you know, Three Houses came out, and of course, you know, I made some guides on Three Houses, and then those get seen. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just really cool. Like it can happen if you make videos for a while. You got guys like Booty Bopper who just like explode.
Yeah, well, I mean, awesome. I had videos up on my channel like from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Although I think most of them now have been blocked worldwide from copyright. I'll have to go back and fix those. But yeah, so it's been kind of crazy because I've been making videos on and off, and it's only recently that I've been able to like justify, you know, sitting down and making them with some degree of consistency. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, man. So I'll cut this out if you want me to. Are you monetized?
I am. Yeah.
Dude,
I don't mind if you leave it in or not.
Okay. I just did. Some people are weird about that. I don't know. But yeah, man, that's awesome. I like honestly really excited. More people in the Fire Emblem community on YouTube is necessary, especially when we have idiots who ruin it for everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Hint.
Well, the good thing is that I'm just an idiot. I try not to ruin it for anybody.
Well, that's the thing. You're the kind of idiot we like having around. So
yeah, thank you.
All right. Well,
I appreciate it.
Well, let's get into today's topic again. Project Ember, made by Brunhilde or whatever his name is. He big timed me. I was gonna have him on, and he said he was too busy. So this is gonna be like a part 2, like one with you and then one with him.
He's busy fixing longbows.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really, you can tell there's a lot of love in the hack, right? So we're gonna start off talking like spoiler-free stuff. Like we won't talk about like the things that are changed necessarily, aside from a few gameplay things, maybe. But the major fun, cool changes we'll let you discover on your own if you want to. So let's just get into it. What's your opinion? I guess before we get into Project Ember, we need to establish our opinion on just Binding Blade. So, Mr. Bopper, how do you feel about FE6?
Okay, nobody's going to like this, but I think the Binding Blade is the worst game in the entire franchise other than Revelations.
Oh my... Okay, we were talking beforehand, and I said, yeah, I don't like FE6. I don't think I... Oh my gosh.
Yes. I don't think you. This is why I said I would save it for the video. I wanted to see if that would shock you or not. It shocks a lot of people.
I mean, so you would rather sit down and play FE1 or FE2?
Okay, you got me there, but
no. So that's just the stipulation. I'm like, there's no way. Like,
yeah. Well, it's really weird because like if I'm like talking about, I would absolutely rather play Binding Blade than FE1 or 2, but those games I find more interesting, at least like thinking about them conceptually, like and looking at them. I feel like Binding Blade relies a lot on just GBA Fire Emblem being mechanically like very fun and simple and easy to pick up and play, but it doesn't do anything else for me, and I generally find its gameplay very frustrating. Yeah. I would rather play it than 1 and 2, but I respect 1 and 2 more as like entire packages.
Yeah, okay, I get that. Yeah, okay, I'll agree with that. Yeah, you guys know that I don't like FE6. The GBA games are all really disappointing to me. So I think FE6 is, I'll say I think it's the most disappointing title in the series. I'll say that. I think it's definitely the most disappointing. It did the least with what it had. Following FE5 especially. FE5 was so, a lot of people, I know it's kind of different strokes for different folks. I get it. FE5 kind of turned some people off, but it did so many unique things to just liven up the gameplay that was just like kind of basic Fire Emblem, but then FE6 regressed to basically like, FE3 Book 1 style gameplay, but even like less interesting in a way. I don't really know how to explain it. I enjoy FE3 more than I do FE6. So yeah, so I think it's safe to assume neither of us are big fans of Binding Blade. But how does Project Ember compare to FE6 for you then? Does it make it any better?
I think it makes it significantly better. And this could very well, this is where I'm going to hedge myself and say this is probably a play style issue. It's going to depend on like what I think most players are looking for in their Fire Emblem. Because my problems, I do want to be specific with what I don't like about the original Binding Blade, which is that I think the big issue the game has comes down to basically its first 7 chapters being a nightmare. And the hit rates in the game being so awful with there not being a whole lot of tools to correct for things going wrong. I think Binding Blade is a game that would benefit significantly from a much better cast of bench characters, guys that can come off and actually perform to some degree when units die. And then more fail-safes, more ability to like deal with things going wrong, which they're going to go wrong when you have weapons that have 55 hit or the hammer that has 45 hit. Things are going to go wrong even if you try to optimize as much as you can, at least in a more casual setting. And Project Ember, I think, fixes that quite a bit. Characters tend to have significantly better base stats, and then weapons have significantly higher hit. Like I know the hammer had like 30 hit added to it from the original to Project Ember.
Which sounds like a lot, but the hammer was just that bad in the original.
The hammer was awful. The steel weapons like steel, and this is maybe like too specific minutia, but generally characters' stats have been improved. The weapon triangle has been buffed to plus 15 hit. Weapons are more accurate. So things can be much more easily calculated. And then if you're someone like me who prefers chaos and just making random decisions that make no sense, Project Ember also can like fulfill that. So I think like both ways you want to approach it, whether it's really sloppy, insane gameplay or very calculated and deliberate gameplay, Project Ember I think is successful on both of those fronts when I think the original just wasn't.
Yeah, the original FE6 definitely goes with the FE1 mindset where your replacement characters you get if you did let someone die are like trash. Compared to the originals, right? You got your OJ or OG or however you say it in the new translation to your Deke, and you got your your Wendy to your Boars, stuff like that. You got a bad unit to replace good units if they die early. And Project Ember essentially just, throws that out the window and makes everybody good. I haven't come across, I haven't finished the hack yet, but I haven't come across a single unit that's straight up just trash. And actually, most of them are pretty good. whether it's through like personal weapons or different classes or whatever else, or just better stats in general. So, but overall, so you have more fun playing Project Ember than you do FE6.
Significantly more fun, and I think a lot of that too comes from the fact that it's easier in Project Ember to just sort of use a bunch of different characters if you want to meme around or mess around with the game. You know, in the original, if you're trying to not have a bad time, you're going to use Rutger. You're going to use Milady, you're going to use Percival. Whereas in Project Ember, it's a lot more loose. Those characters are still like really good and probably the best characters in the game still. But, you know, if you want to use Wendy, you want to use Sophia, you want to use all these traditionally terrible characters, you can go in a lot of different directions. Everybody's team can look radically different in Project Ember, and you're still going to be getting through the game, I think, in a fun and dynamic way. Much more so than the turtling that would happen in the vanilla version of the game.
Yeah, I think it's similar to Three Houses in that way. Every character in like I've made plenty of tier lists for Three Houses because it's easy content that people watch for some reason, and it is insane how many people like different units for different reasons, and why everyone thinks your tier list is wrong. And that really just speaks to the fact that every character in Three Houses is good. There's not a single bad character in Three Houses. And Project Ember does the same thing. So everyone can just have this like insanely different team, which is a lot of fun. Sure, there might be some that are better than others, but yeah, I agree with everything you said. So yes, ditto, I guess is all I'm saying. Do you have anything you want to mention before we go into spoiler stuff that I think is like the actual interesting topics?
I'm not going to get into the reasons why, but if you're a big bow and archer type fan, you're going to love you some Project Ember.
Oh, dude, Walt. Early game Walt is solid. Yeah.
Early game Walt is really good. And anybody that can use bows, this is my advice for anybody going in blind. If they can use bows, they're good. Bows are very silly, but we'll talk more about that in the spoiler section.
Yeah. All right, let's get into spoilers then. Let's go in the order that I have on here, I guess. So, favorite added class. I'll go first this time because you've been going first every time, and I feel bad.
That's fine.
I think my favorite added class so far is Great Knight. Pretty basic, and it looks really, really cool. And the units who get it, it makes them a lot more interesting. One of my favorite units so far is Trek, and he is just the coolest looking dude. Yeah, I love that class. What about you?
So I'm going with Great Knight actually as well. I was boring to go with the same thing. Which is funny because I haven't used any of the Great Knights. I haven't used Trek, and I haven't used Zealot beyond his joining chat. I think I used Trek like once, and then Zealot after Chapter 7, I haven't touched him. But I like it more because of what it does with like Paladins. Because one of the interesting things about this is that like most classes got improved a lot. Paladins got made worse. They took axes away. They did like a Sacred Stone style rebalance. So you don't have axes on like Marcus anymore. And Cavaliers are split between like light calves and heavy calves. So you've got like the slower characters like Trek. You know, one benefit that he has now over his original version, he can actually hit really hard now with axes right from base. And then Great Knight as a class is just really cool, even though like, yeah, okay, it's weak to like everything that deals effective damage in the game. It's still just a cool looking class. Like Zealot Sprite, I think is awesome.
It looks so good. Yeah, it's pretty.
It looks so good. And it's actually distinct, I find, with most of the new classes that they added in the game. Like I know like Lil Lena gets a new class and a bunch of characters do, but it's hard to differentiate them because they're functionally like the same. I like the Great Knight Paladin split because they feel very distinct, especially Great Knight, from what you're used to using in the vanilla version of the game.
Yeah, and if you think Great Knight from FE8 looks cool, these Great Knights are sick, dude. Like, especially
Great Knights are
they're so cool looking. Yeah. They're monstrous.
Great Knights are cool in like every game. Like I understand why they made them so horrible to try to get in Three Houses, because you got to work for something that cool, and this version Project Ember just hands you that. Like it's like, yeah, they're bad, but it's generals on horses. What can go wrong? Like it's awesome.
Yeah. I think some other really cool classes they added. Mage Knight. So Lou no longer promotes to Sage. He promotes to Mage Knight, giving him a fun niche. And I think that is probably my second favorite addition to the game. I think he's the only one, to my knowledge, that you get. But
yeah, I haven't used Lou, so I haven't seen that. But that is really cool.
Yeah, it makes him makes him a lot more interesting. He still has relatively low magic stat, especially when compared to Lilina and all that. But yeah, it's a really fun change. Give him a horse, like horses.
Yeah, and with a character like Lilina, if yours is somehow still alive and not dead from a longbow, still just really good for stats and everything. So it sounds really fun to have just a magical nuke that you could just ride around all over the place.
Yeah,
just kill mad amount of people with.
Yeah, it has staff, so it's basically just a Valkyrie, except not trash, comparatively. But yeah, there's a lot of really fun classes added to the game. Nothing that's super extreme and breaks the game or anything by any means, but a lot to just differentiate characters and stuff, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, having a lot of characters that are not going down the same path, I think, is interesting because it gives Project Ember a lot of replay value. I really want to play it again, off camera by myself. For one, not to continue embarrassing myself, and then just to see all the different things that go on in the game, with what you're talking about, Luke. Because I had no idea. It's the first I'd heard of it, and it just sounds like I wouldn't just get the chance to play as a different character and see their supports and all that kind of stuff, but also I make the game an entirely different experience. That way to have my magical boy running around on a horse instead of on foot like everyone else.
Yeah, sick. Do you know of any other characters that get personal classes?
See, I haven't paid too much attention to the names of classes. I'm gonna be honest, because a lot of the characters when I'm promoting them, this is the first time I've ever seen them promote because it's the first time I've ever seen them do anything. So you got I don't know. I feel a lot of characters were changed. I know Cecilia was changed. I'm pretty sure Valkyrie was made different. She might have her own personal class actually.
I think she's still called a Valkyrie, but every other Valkyrie can, I guess every other. So Clarion can, when she promotes, she gets light magic, I think, right?
Yes.
But Cecilia gets light magic and anima, so
yeah,
which is a unique Valkyrie class,
which is ridiculously good because there's some changes with how light magic and everything work. I haven't seen them come too much into play because I'm pretty sure shine tomes deal effective damage against mages or something.
Oh really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I've only seen it matter when I got Elfin one shot, but other than that, I haven't seen it come too much into play.
Yeah, all right, that's really cool. Okay, so I guess that's enough on classes. I don't know. Let's talk about the different added animations, whether it's map sprites or just changed battle animations. Are there any that have stuck out to you as super dope?
Yes, there's quite a few that are really awesome. I think a lot of the gender splits that they did for sniper and hero and swordmaster.
Female snipers get a cute hat.
Yeah, dude, the hat is what seals it for me.
They get a cute hat.
I was an Igren fan before, and then I saw the hat, and I was done. I was I don't care. Get on the bench, Klein. Your career's over. That Dorothy gets a hat when she promotes. Although my Dorothy was promoted for about one turn before I nuked her to save Tate's Pegasus Knight green unit. So
wait, you killed her to save a green unit?
I killed her to save a green unit when I didn't even have any flyers left to promote. So I just wanted the $5,000 from the Elysian Whip. And everybody who's sitting there watching me play, it's I love Dorothy, and it's I don't care about your feelings. I like $5,000. So Gren brought the hat back, so I was excited. I haven't gotten to see much Swordmaster, the female Swordmaster, female hero animations, because I went Bartre route, so I didn't get Echidna, and Fear was alive for about 2 turns, so I didn't get to promote her. But from what I've seen them on enemies, I think like the new custom animations they added for all those classes to differentiate like the male and female versions are awesome.
Oh, the female Swordmaster. So I've promoted Fur.
Yeah.
So I've gotten to see it a lot. It is like the little like cherry blossom, pink petal effects, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pretty. And it's like super over the top, which is what you want from a Swordmaster. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
And it's new over the top because the old Swordmaster animations are awesome, but like you see them so often because Rutger just has like 90 crit with like an iron sword, so like it's like a whatever. But to see the new animations is really cool.
Yeah, and on top of that, even like existing things like the male Swordmaster even looks different now, or like the male mercenary. I mean, not mercenary, male hero looks different now too. So it's like they just like updated like everything. I feel like.
Yeah, they updated a lot. Like a lot of the not just battle sprites. Like the Paladin has been completely overhauled, which I think looks awesome. I think the new Paladin.
Oh, they
like lance animation. They spin it around and then.
Oh, I love that. They copied the FE3 Paladin animation where they always spin their lance before attacking. It's sick.
Yeah, I really like it. It makes it look. Sometimes it makes it look every hit looks like a crit, but like I like power, so I'm fine with that. And then just one last animation throughout there. The new, I don't remember if this is for the male sniper, because Klein's been riding the bench for a hot minute. But like with the female sniper, at least the crit animation, they whip out like 3 arrows, and that's awesome.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that. That's sick.
Yeah, so when like you get a Dorothy or Igren crit, they pull out, they do the twirl and everything, but it's with 3 arrows and just is brutal. And
see, that's
big fan of that.
That's just a cute little thing they added. They didn't have to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because most people aren't going to notice it. It happens so fast.
Yeah, so cool. Okay, let's move on to favorite character changes or favorite character changes, things that we thought were impactful. The one that everyone's going to be curious about that we'll just get out of the way. Roy can promote whenever with at level 10 with a Knight's Crest. That's the big one, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest one, and that makes the game, I think, significantly better and more tolerable.
Well, yeah, and he even has 7 move at base, right? Which is insane.
Yeah, the 7 move Roy is awesome, and then being able to promote him at any time is awesome, because with the exception of one map, I'm pretty sure every map is still C's. There's only one that they changed that I know of.
Oh, they changed one? They changed an objective?
Yeah.
Which one?
There is one that is, it is the... I think it's 16X. I might be getting the number wrong. It's the one where you get Douglas. It's the what's it called? Guidance chapter right after you kill Narshan, where you have to climb up. I think it's the one where you get Areola or whatever, the S rank light tone.
Yeah.
That's a kill boss now instead of a C's.
Oh, cool! You just
that chapter's
warp
really
someone up there.
Yeah, you just warp Gonzalez up there with a killer axe, and it's a wrap.
Sick. That sucks.
Yeah, that map is bad. They made that map significantly more interesting. So maybe talk about that one more specific in a bit. But yeah, everything being C's and then Roy being able to just move on his own a good distance and not have to be rescue dropped and carried around everywhere is awesome.
And they made him and he's like a competent combat unit too.
Yeah.
I mean, he still locks his swords until he promotes, but
yeah. But when he promotes, actually getting lances on promotion is really nice. I don't know what rank he gets, but like he can actually control the weapon triangle, which is nice.
I think it's C rank. I think he gets C rank axes. I mean,
I'm pretty sure it's C,
which is great. That's killer. Yeah, so
yeah, that is. I've been pretty proactive trying to train it up, so I'm not sure. Mine might be at like B, but it's really nice to have it. Like Roy is good, and that is the most shocking thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. So when he gets the binding blade, is he gonna get like another promotion? Is he gonna revert to like Master Lord or Great Lord or whatever it's called, or is he gonna stay on his horse? Do you know?
I actually don't know. I've got like 3 chapters left in the game. Well, 3 chapters before the bad ending. The good ending sailed long ago for me, but the bad ending, I hope not. I really hope he doesn't. But I mean, if it does, it's probably a thing that's like hard coded or something that they couldn't change.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure it is hard coded. So that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm worried that they're like, if anything, maybe they'll make it an even cooler class, give him a second promotion. That'd be pretty sick, but probably not.
That'd be really cool if he at least got like more promotion bonuses.
His promo bonuses are lame compared to everyone else.
Everybody else is getting like plus 45 strength, and he's over here getting like plus 2. It's really sad.
It's really sad. Freaking like Fur does. Like Fur gets she got plus 7 speed and plus 5 strength on promo or something like that.
Oh, that's
so it's
ridiculous.
Like, why? Like, promote her at level 10. There's no reason not to. She's insane.
No. And this is a game that like does early promotion in this game. I feel like if you're the type of player that doesn't early promote very often, this is a good game to try to get the bug to early promote, because I've seen like characters like Wade. My Wade promoted at level 10 and like has capped his strength and skill because promotion bonuses are so ridiculous here. Like I don't remember exactly what it was, and it might not have been like the warrior promotion, but like definitely they're getting like plus 6 strength at some point,
which is ridiculous. Silly. Yeah, that's
I know for a fact General gets plus 6 defense, and I'm pretty sure plus 3 speed, and
yeah,
man,
it's enough to make Wendy awesome. And by the way, Gwendolyn is legit in this hack.
Yeah, she's legit. It took mine a while to get super legit, but she was like kind of low key legit for a long time just because of bows.
Yeah, she's a bow armor. She's a bow. Yeah, so she's a bow armor now. And in this game, I don't know if we mentioned it yet, bows have 3 range, 2 to 3 range, which is stupid in a good way.
It's really goofy. It's really goofy, and they added bows to generals. Generals now, I think at Vanilla Binding Blade they use lances and axes, which is just great because swords are the best weapon type in that game. But now they can use swords, lances, axes, and bows, all 4 physical weapon types, and it's super silly that you can have basically a gigantic tank running around with 2 to 3 bow range with like killer bows blowing people away, and it makes Wendy really good too because she can do it in her unpromoted class.
Yeah, and they buff their movement too. So I think it's Armor Knights are 5 move or General 6.
Yeah, Generals are 6,
which is a lot, which is huge for them.
That's really silly, especially for me because I've been using like 6 generals on a single map. So
wait, so are you using like all of them then? That's Boars, Barth, Wendy.
Boars, Barth, Wendy. How many are there in the game? There's 5 total in the game, actually. Because in the vanilla game, you have Boars, Barth, Wendy, Douglas. And then this game, they added Tobias, which I do want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now. Who's Tobias? Like, what the freak?
So Tobias is the boss of Chapter 7, which is the notoriously difficult Wyvern chapter in Binding Blade. If you talk to him with boars, I think it's just boars. I'm not sure if there are other characters, but if you talk to him with boars, you recruit Tobias instead of having to kill him, which is completely random. And I was always a big Tobias fan.
Always?
Before this. I was always a big Tobias fan because I don't know why. I'm probably the only person that's ever said I was a big Tobias fan. I'm glad they added him.
You might be.
I just always thought he was really funny. He looks really silly, and his name is really silly to me. And so I always had like this weird affection for Tobias because he just made me laugh. And then when I'm playing the game and the people watching, when the chat tells me talk to him with boars, I'm like, you all trying to like trick me and trying to get boars killed? And he recruits him and he comes off the throne and he's a blue unit. I'm like, this can't be real. This got to be a dream. This is my dreams come true. This is what Binding Blade was missing all along. And so you get Tobias there, and oh, it's so silly because Tobias at base can use all 4 weapon types as an unpromoted Armor Knight.
Oh, really? I didn't realize.
Yeah, he can use because all the Armor Knights are different. I think because Boars get swords and lances, Wendy is lances and bows, Tobias is all 4, and Barth I think is lances and axes. But Tobias gets all 4, and he's so beautiful. He's so majestic. He's dead now for me, unfortunately. He met the wrong end of an armor slayer, but Dude carried hard for like 14 chapters.
Yeah, he oh man, and he comes with a Knight's Crest, by the way, and he's
Yeah.
level 10, right? So it's like, hey,
Yeah, I insta promoted him the
promote this
first turn
guy.
I had him. Yeah.
Yeah, and you actually see that a lot in this game. Like Deke joins Chapter 2, level 10, with a Hero's Crest.
Yeah, Wade really liked that Hero's Crest.
Yeah.
The good thing about there's a lot of good things. I think that this promotion item thing is one of the best things and one of the most fun things about Project Ember to me is that by the time I'm rolling into Chapter 8, which is that, miserable indoor map where you're having to wind around the hallways.
Oh, but they fixed it.
I'm like promoting. They did fix it. They fixed it and they made it so much better.
Yeah.
But you're rolling around with like promoted. I'm like promoting Wade and Rutger and all these other people. They're like popping off and going crazy. And there's so many promotion items in this hack that not only does it make losing units feel a little better, because like if, let's say, Chad gets killed by an attack that has a 0.11 chance to kill him, you can just promote Astor and he's ready to go. And because in the original version of FE6, promotion items were pretty rare and hard to come across.
Oh, super
which I think
scarce.
Yeah, I think there's some benefit to that, and I can get why somebody would really like that. And kind of thinking about it, I like it. But when I'm actually playing the game, I enjoy how many promotion items that they've added.
And just to touch on that with FE6, yeah, like I get why they did that, make it this like really cool thing when you can promote a unit and makes you really think about who you're going to promote and stuff. And again, it's the FE1 effect where they really tried to go back to basics. In FE1, you don't get promotion items like ever. They are super rare, super like far in between. They're like you can't promote a magic user until it's something like chapter 19 or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And Binding Blade isn't quite that bad, of course, but it holds that same sort of mentality there. But it didn't really matter in FE1 because stats are also low, capping at 20. But in Binding Blade, you want higher stats than that, and it hurts you when, like, say, if you promote someone and you let them die, you're kind of screwed,
Yeah, because if you're playing FE1, like, I guess because there's a lot of people playing FE1 for the first time right now.
Yeah.
Generally, promotion in that game isn't all that big of a deal. You're mostly just getting a movement buff because of how promotion gains work. And most classes just straight up can't promote anyway. But FE6 is a big deal. If you want to promote in that game because growth rates are really low, so the promotion bonuses are just really nice and make units so much better. And then like uncapping your stat caps and weapon ranks is just so important, especially for characters like Rutger early on, that like it makes the scarcity like actually feel kind of a problem instead of just like you have a couple units that get really overpowered. It's like everybody needs to promote and I can't.
Yeah. So that is something that really is done away with in Project Ember for sure. And I like it. I personally like it. It makes the game way more interesting because that's why a lot of us play Fire Emblem, right? We like to see the big numbers go up. We like to see the green +1s. Makes us feel good about ourselves. And that dopamine hit.
Actually, I don't speak for yourself, but I like just seeing HP go up and nothing else. That's fun for me. That's why I love me some original Binding Blade. Plus luck, plus HP. Now we're talking.
That's a Roy level up if I've ever heard one.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So do you think every character being as good as they are, and like everyone being so usable and all the promotion items, everything, do you think it hurts the experience in any way? Do you think it takes away from what the original Binding Blade gave us?
I think it does. I think it takes away from it because it just changes it so fundamentally. If you don't like how the original Binding Blade does it, like me, it's going to be like a positive change. I'm glad they're taking it away. That like specific experience. But if you're the type of person, I think there's some players that do really love that type of very limited promotion. You're always like at a disadvantage. There's some people that really, really like that approach. And I don't know if they'll enjoy Project Ember as much. I think they'll enjoy it because it's still Fire Emblem, still fun. But if you like really get into like what Binding Blade does, that's pretty unique. I think Project Ember will feel like a downgrade. I've definitely talked to people that think that.
Yeah.
Which I think is crazy.
I don't know if I mentioned it while we're talking, like recording, but yeah, I named a stream or something or put it in the thumbnail that this is FE6 but better, or the best way to play FE6. And I had a bunch of fanboys coming in to chat and yelling at me, Like, some people really like base FE6 for some reason. Please tell me in the comments why, or tell me why I'm stupid and wrong. I love it. That's what I live for. But yeah, I would say that it definitely it changes the game, but I think they're all positive changes for my play style and the way I like to play Fire Emblem. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. And I think, again, FE6 is made in a way that it punishes permadeath, where this game, I don't want to say it rewards permadeath, but it makes it so it doesn't hurt so bad that you're like screwed in the end. Unless you lose, like, I don't know, like Elfin or something.
Well,
no true ending, but
as somebody who lost Elfin and by proxy of that lost Percival, I was really sad. Like it feels you can play Project Ember through horrible things happening, and it creates more, I think, a better variety of unique narratives that each player can go for, or that can have more unique experiences, because playing FE6 with a dead Rutger, Milady, and Percival is like really weird.
Normally it's not fun. Normally it's horrible. But now it's fun.
It's miserable. Like, if you have Milady, you want, like, chapter 14 is going to be miserable. That's the desert chapter in the original game. It's going to be terrible without her, like, just promoted and like killing everything. But in this, you have so many more tools at your disposal and such a big variety of things that you can do that you can play past the deaths of, like, those traditionally, like, necessary characters.
Yeah, so what difficulty are you playing it on?
Maniac.
Same. Okay. Yeah, so I let Marcus die in like chapter 8, I think, and I also let Deke die in chapter 8. And initially I was like, "Uh-oh, like, oh no, probably should reset." But then I like, wait, I just got Zealot, I just got Trek. Like, Noah's pretty good. I just got OJ, who was apparently insane. By the way, OJ is insane in this game for some reason.
Really?
Yeah,
okay, I haven't used him a single time. Just never had the space for him. So
I bet he would, like. How far are you into the game? Are you now? You're like chapter 17, right, or something like that.
I think I'm starting chapter 20. The chapter where you get Juno.
Okay, yeah.
Ilya out.
He honestly probably could contribute now at base just because of his personal weapon, his personal weapon is a 1/2 range magic sword. So it hits on res with his strength, but he's still using his strength stat, of course. So he just murders things from base. He's insane.
Yeah.
And promoted, he gets those like insane, like +4 strength, +4 speed, +7 HP, like stupid buffs. The creator of the hack obviously really liked that character. But yeah,
because he goes hero, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Did they change hero at all?
Has a new animation. Has a new pretty animation, but otherwise no.
Yeah, I don't remember what level he's at base, but he seems like the character that if I need him, definitely promote him instantly.
Yeah, pretty quick. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't know, a lot of really good characters. I lost my train of thought because I got on OJ being like my favorite unit in the game right now. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're talking about personal favorite units, mine. 2. 1 is Chad. We haven't talked about Thieves. Thieves are very different here. Which is really good. So Chad, I've been sort of Stockholmed into liking Chad. Everybody was begging me, use Chad. I'm like, Chad sucks. Who cares? He throws 9. They have like 2 might. He's like destroying everything. And then Wade. Chad died for me. It was very unfortunate because he got obliterated by like a berserker who had like 18 hit on him and 17 crit, and he got 1 shot. It was really sad.
That's sad.
It was calculated out, I think, a 0.11% chance to happen, so perfect. But Wade has been like ridiculous for me. That's been my MVP is Wade, and I like Wade now. I used to not be able to differentiate him and Lot, and I can finally do that. So Project Ember is good for that.
Wade is the slightly bluer one, right?
I'm pretty sure. I can't think of the colors. I've just seen them in black and white in my head. I'm just seeing game over screens in my head. Like, he's got he's the one with the good stats. That's the only way I could differentiate them. But
is he the one that starts higher level or lower level?
I don't remember what the base level is. I know in the vanilla version of the game, Wade is the worst one because he's a lot slower, but they buffed his speed a lot here. He's got like the higher strength growth and everything, whereas Lot is the more defensive and faster of the two.
So I think I know which one's which at this point, but I'm still not sure.
Yeah. Nobody knows the actual difference. It's you. What's the difference between these two pictures, Wade and Lot? Nobody's gonna know.
Joke's on you. Same picture.
Yeah.
All right. Last thing I want to touch on before we go into just like general things we would want to change. Same turn reinforcements. Same turn reinforcements are a hallmark of Fire Emblem 6, but they don't exist in Project Ember. And I had someone in chat. I'll only bring this up because I had someone in chat the other day say that they think it cheapens the experience to not have same turn reinforcements, and then they miss them. They think it makes Project Ember unplayable or something like that. Superfluous big statements. What do you think about same turn reinforcements?
So same turn reinforcements or ambush spawns or whatever. I don't like them most of the time. I think on a repeat playthrough they can be interesting because you can plan around them because you know they're coming. On a blind playthrough they're miserable, particularly in a game like this where I find if you're playing it blind and you get jumped by Rutger and his gang in chapter 5 or 4, it's a wrap. Everybody's dead. Marcus is dead. Roy is dead. Everyone's going to die. And there really isn't a whole lot you can do to prevent that other than like turtling really heavily. And that's just not fun, at least not for me. I don't think turtling around like I know Rutger's coming is very interesting. So I think getting rid of the same turn reinforcements allows you to be more proactive. It allows you to be more aggressive on a first playthrough. Behave much more like a maniac and do a lot of crazy things and not be punished for something that you couldn't have seen coming. Now, sometimes the game does like forewarn you with, dialogue. There's a very specific, the Narshan chapter in Project Ember still has ambush spawns, but the game is very specific about warning you about what their trigger is. And still gives you an opportunity to recover from it before the ambush spawns destroy everybody. So I can see why some people would like ambush spawns, but I find that it's a thing that's purely like a repeat playthrough type of enjoyment. But on a first playthrough, Project Ember plays significantly better than doing this. Because last thing I'm going to say on is that I recently watched a friend of mine play Binding Blade blind for the first time. He knew nothing about it, and I've never seen more salt than every single chapter of that game, him dealing with the ambush spawns that are showing up out of nowhere, and all that. So like it does not make the game very appealing or fun for the vast majority of players, at least in my experience from what I've seen. And I'm glad they got rid of them.
Yeah, so I think I'm in the same camp. So yeah, I don't know. Nothing to disagree with there. I can't play devil. I can't even play devil's advocate here because I hate ambush spawns for the most part. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes they are you're warned well enough, and I think it's fine. Mm-hmm. But there are some that are pretty unforgivable.
Yeah, I think it depends. Like they have to have. I think for an ambush spawn to work, they need to either have like you need to know ahead of time that there's a risk, like a cutscene that tells you eventually guys are going to show up behind you, so you need to get a move on early on as an anti-turtling thing, or like clear spawn points. I think of like, I don't remember the exact chapter, but it's the chapter where you get Siryu in FEs 3 and 12. Mm-hmm. In that chapter, like there's forts lined up.
Did you just call him? Did you just call Sirius Siryu?
Isn't Siryu how it's supposed to be pronounced? Because
it's Camus, right? But like, isn't it just Sirius?
Well, Camus ends in US and Sirius ends in US, so I just always went with Siryu. But
he's also but Camus is from Grust, but that's a US. Is it Groot? Is Camus from Groot?
Maybe. I don't know.
I honestly don't care. I just think people are over the top.
I don't know. People get. I go extreme with it because people get mad at like the pretend French With like, Gi Guy in Blazing Sword, or like
Wait, who?
I call the Grativus Gi from
Oh,
FE7.
okay, yeah.
Gi Guy, as I always call him now, reflexively to not make anyone mad. And you got like I always call the Grativus the Grativu just to irritate people in like the FE1 streams.
Yeah, it's a video game. Stop getting mad about how things are pronounced.
Yeah, but yeah, that chapter where Seiryu Sirius shows up is like has good ambush spawns because it's like you see the spawn points, and so you can choose to either run past them, blaze past them to get away from them, or you can block them. So you have like options to deal with it preemptively because the game does warn you that they're going to come from the desert. So those are nice, but for the most part, they suck.
All right, so basically comes down to tell me if they're coming and show me where they're going to come with forts and stuff, right? So
yes,
I don't know. Sorry, we got off on that tangent. Not really a tangent, but I don't know.
Anytime to say Grativu is a good time for me.
All right, last thing, and then we'll close out. Is there anything you would change about Project Ember so far?
Buff everybody's luck stat, and I can't believe I'm saying that.
Dude, because I feel like I'm always facing like 1 or 2% crit. Always.
Oh, it gets way worse because I get the reasoning behind it. So enemies in this game almost always have cap skill or near cap skill when you start getting into the mid to late game. I don't know how far are you into the game?
I'll be starting chapter 13 next time I play.
Yeah, so by the time you're getting to the point in the game where like just facing 4 to 5% crits every attack is just a thing that you're gonna have to deal with.
That's annoying.
And it's annoying, and it's a byproduct of how they make enemies super accurate, which I like. But I need to get into like I would have to look at the specific numbers, but it feels like nobody's luck has been buffed really from the base, because something most people don't think about. This is the first time I've ever played Fire Emblem where I've been counting the luck stat and looking at it and trying to calculate crit avoid. And like that doesn't happen. It happens here. So at least it's interesting. And I like that it brings chaos into the equation more often. But it does get... I think it can demotivate more aggressive styles of play and make it more turtley. Which I'm not, so I'm like going back and forth as to whether or not it'd be a good thing, but I think with some characters, they need a buff to their luck stat. Someone like Tobias has like 4 luck, or mine had 4 luck at like level 6 promoted.
I think it is a lot of the units that start as enemies have pretty bad luck. Like Rutger, Tobias. I think Shin has pretty bad luck. So that might be a thing because enemies generally have lower luck too.
Yeah, that's a thing for like those units, but it's for everybody as well. Like even like units that start either as green units or even like units you'd expect to be pretty lucky, like Tate facing low percent crits all the time. And like I get why you would want it that way, but sometimes it does get excessive because even without killer weapons, Tobias was facing like 12% crits.
That's ridiculous.
Before he died. On him, I don't mind it because sometimes you can use different things like that to cause a unit to sort of fall off into the late game. But for the most part, I think more of your general units should have buff luck, because the only characters I had that weren't facing crit by the end were like Lilina and Chad. But they're dead now, so I don't see what benefit it really was in the long run.
Yeah, I think that's something that they did do with Roy. I don't know if they even buffed it at all, but his luck is naturally pretty high, so I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of like random game overs that way, at least. Which is nice. I don't know. That's what I've noticed at least. Maybe I just got stat blessed or something, but my Roy is at like level 15-1, and he has like, I don't know, 20 luck or something. So
yeah, his luck's really good.
Yeah.
And then one last change I'd throw in. This is like a maybe. 2 to 3 range bows are really good. And longbows are really good. Longbows are now mobile ballistas. But I would consider making 2 to 3 range bows a sniper only thing, because the fact that warriors and generals get 3 range makes them ridiculously broken in the player's hands, because the player can take advantage of this way more often than the enemies do. And so honestly, like snipers are cool because they get like custom bows, like the recurve bow, which has 50 crit, and then the hunting bow, which deals effective damage on cavaliers. But generally, just 3 range on warriors is better. It's higher strength, higher speed, gonna kill everything with it. So that's something I'd probably change. Is I would make 3 range bows a sniper, an archer sniper class line ability.
Yeah, actually, I like that change a lot personally too. I was going to bring something up along those lines. What I was going to say was give more enemies the ability to counter from 1 to 3 range. They do that a little bit with they call it's like an upgraded version of the light brand. It's like the light blade.
The light blade
has 1 to 3
range.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it has 1 to 3 range. I don't know if does the player get it at all.
I think you get 1. And it's mostly just bosses that have it, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, a lot like bosses have it. There's a hero that has it in chapter 10 or 11, chapter 10B, he'll actually move and attack you with it and stuff, which is interesting. But I just like more of that. Maybe make a lance and axe variant of that, so that there's more counters to your archers, or your warrior or your generals. Because I was thinking about that too. It's kind of annoying. So just I don't like nerfing things. I think nerfing things makes things lame, makes them a lot less fun, right? So I'd rather just buff the enemy and give them the tools to counter, I guess. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. Although I think because the way it's currently set up, with most range being 1 to 3 range in the enemy's hands, it makes things like javelins and hand axes pretty worthless by the time you get to the mid game. And I found myself just never using them because anytime I could attack someone with a javelin, I'll just shoot him from 3 range with a killer bow on Wade, and he just like 1 rounds them. And it's like, oh, well, Boars, you can go warm the bench because that's all you needed for.
Fair enough. Well, as far as anything, I can't think of anything else I'd change besides maybe, again, I don't like nerfing things because, I don't know, it's just not as fun. But I think overall, just a lot, I don't know. I'm playing Maniac as well, and there's some, like the early game is pretty rough still. But I feel like I'm getting to a point where I can kind of steamroll. Maybe it gets harder again. I don't know. But the difficulty curve doesn't feel. It feels pretty non-existent at this point. It feels like it's like most Fire Emblem. It's a reverse difficulty curve. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways to maybe fix that a little bit in not annoying ways. But I can't think of any not annoying ways to do that. So
yeah, I think generally the early game to me is quite a bit easier than it is in the vanilla hard mode.
Really?
I think that at least, just because like Boars doesn't suck anymore. And like you have 5 usable units in chapter 1 now instead of 1 usable unit. I think like things like that just make it, quite a bit easier because you can do things with people that aren't like Marcus early on. And then like things like the ambush spawns going away makes like one of the big walls for a lot of new players is chapter 4. So like the rapier now doing effective damage against nomads and Rutger not just jumping you and killing everybody the turn he shows up. It generally makes the early game easier. But you have so many options by the end game that it just becomes like trivial, and you could not completely shut your brain off. Because everybody has like cap stats, all the enemies do, and you do as well. And like, so it's just more options at the end, kind of get rid of the difficulty curve.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, cool. That was a fun discussion. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That was fun. I'm glad to be here.
Again, go check out Booty Bopper. The link to his channel is in the description. Literally, I don't know, like just one of the new, really like cool, fun people in the Fire Emblem community. And you talk about other stuff too. Like you said, you talk about like Pokemon. I've seen you do some like Dark Souls stuff, don't you?
I'm planning on it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do some Fire Emblem Dark Souls crossover stuff.
Oh my.
So if you're a big Gilliam fan from Sacred Stones, look forward to some Gilliam Dark Souls action. It's going to happen.
That's awesome. Yeah, so just go follow him. And if you stayed this long through this whole discussion and you got to this point where we're like ending, you're probably like pretty okay with him, or at the very least you enjoyed listening to him speak. So yeah, it's free to go subscribe. Just go press the red button and watch his videos because they're all really, really good. A lot more high effort than I do. Than I put into my videos. That's for sure.
You at least get videos out. that counts for something.
I guess that counts for something. Got to feed that YouTube algorithm, man.
Yeah.
Got to give the beast what it wants. But I don't know. Is there anything else you want to plug? Do you have a Twitter? Anything?
I do have a Twitter. I don't know much on it though. So like follow it if you like just want to have like updates on like when I'm streaming or when I'm, posting a new video or something. But other than that, like just it's the channel's the main thing. So if I'm gonna plug anything, I'm gonna plug my channel.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, go subscribe. He's dope. And if you liked this discussion, subscribe to this channel. Yeah, do that too.
Yeah. Subscribe to FED.
Yeah, do that, man. If you
have a lot of good content here.
I've got a lot of mediocre content here. That is okay.
It's all good. It's all good. I enjoy watching it. So.
Oh, you're a gem. You're diamond in the rough. This guy. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Like the video before you leave. Comment your thoughts. Do you like Project Ember? Have you played it or anything like that? I don't really know. We'll interact in the comments as usual. And yeah, we'll catch you next time, friends.